Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about dyeing and dumping. Basically, what we're doing here is we're killing the rest of the page. This is really useful for development. We're going to kill the rest of the page and we're going to output the content of a specific variable, telling us what that variable or object is in a human-friendly way. So let's take a look at a quick example. Let's create an array here and let's maybe add an items element to this and just pull this down. And let's add some more items in here. So let's pull this down actually. Bread and nuts. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use var dump, which is what we're going to be looking at, and I'm going to pass in this array. Now we know this is an array, but if this data is coming from an API or a class that you're using, you may not know that it is an array. So when I hit refresh, not only do we get array and the amount of elements in it, if you check if I add maybe something else in here, you can see that we now get 2. So it's telling us there are 2 elements in this array. We get this output, not too readable. It's not very readable at this stage. If you view the page source, you'll notice that this is readable because this is a raw interpretation of this file. However, because this is an HTML file, it's not taking into account line breaks. So we can remedy this by actually using pre-tags in the front and then ending that just there. So now when I refresh, you see that that maintains that structure. So now this isn't too useful because doing this everywhere in your project that you need to actually output something and kill the page isn't very useful. So let's create a function. This function could go anywhere. It could go in an initialization file, your functions file, something like that. And I'm going to call this DD just for short. It stands for die and dump. So I'm going to accept a variable into this. Now what I want to do is I want to cut this and I want to paste that into there, and then I want to use the die or exit, whichever you prefer, and just pop that in there. So now what's going to happen is when we want to find out the contents of a variable and just kill the rest of the page and not worry, obviously you might be doing this in a controller or a model or at the top of a view or something like that. I'm basically just going to run the DD function and I'm going to pass in what I want to die and dump, and then we just change this to var, and there we go. So with a small function, we've given the ability to kill the page and output something in a human-friendly way.